What's up, everyone? This is Selexia bringing you a Division D West matchup of Clouded Minds versus Full Meta Jacket. I have a special guest co-caster with me, the infamous. I'm
I
going to use it
guess.
as it works. Formerly now dubbed Infamous, not Paradox. Welcome to Division D.
What's up? Yes, this will be
Not much.
exciting. I'm
It's
ready
kind.
for it.
I'm ready for you to be ready for it. It's similar to your tournament that you held, bronze and silver. It's Division D. It's
Hey, I
exciting.
see a gold border in there.
Yeah, 100%. Hung Fu in chat saying, "Woo, go Clouded Minds!" All caps. Wow. All right, so we're gonna get into this. Just quickly going over what the map picks and bans were. We had one moment as I use multiple devices to get this information. Clouded Minds banned Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Full Metal Jacket, Full Meta Jacket banned Braxis and BOE. I don't know who won the coin flip, but we are going to where? Because I forgot where the lobby's at. Thanks for the 69 bits.
Volskaya.
69 bits, we're headed to Volskaya. All right. Well, let's let them know that we're ready and we'll get into the draft.
All right.
So I think these two teams are tied with a 6-1 this season for season 7. And
Okay.
so
I,
I
I
think it's going
haven't
to be
yeah, I
pretty
haven't
close.
actually been watching Div D too much, so I'm not 100% sure. But that's they said it was a little bit of a rivalry, so I don't know.
Ooh, I didn't know it was a rivalry. It's going to be
I don't know.
spicy.
We'll
Yikes.
see, but
I'm excited. I'm excited then. I've had the pleasure of casting Clouded Minds twice this season, and so I know their style a little bit, and I'm excited to see how it is answered by Full Meta Jacket. But here we go.
so in competitive on Volskaya, you'll usually see Anubrak, you'll see Maiev, Zeratul ban because it's all about getting those engages. In Tournament of BS, we saw KT, we saw um let's see,
Asmodan.
Asmodan, yeah, Varian. Okay, so
And you know,
Diablo ban.
Asmo and KT are Venus's favorite heroes, not necessarily to play this season, but already a Diablo getting banned in Jaina. I think these are going
Mhm.
to be target bans because it's a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean they probably know everyone. I mean these are relatively standard for this MMR range. Rainer tends to be easy to get a lot of value out of. KT tends to be easy to get a lot of value out of. Jaina as well. Diablo is the only strange one, I would say. Stukov first band's a little surprising. He's not too contested, but
Well, he's a first pickup for Star Knight because he does play him exceptionally well for this, with his team. They have a certain comp that I won't spoil because of the smaller delay here. Uh, Chat, why the chuckle after Varian? JK. What?
just because Windblades. Blaze and Imperius, those are really fast picks. The cool part about seeing both of those is that one of them is going to be a main tank, and neither of them are really used in the competitive scene as main tanks. But you will see a Blaze main tank sneak through. That's actually one of my favorite main tanks in the game. And
Wow.
I will pick them into Joanna's all the time. And one of my favorite matchups into a Joanna because you can usually get her to pop her trait by just throwing some oil on the ground. So I actually really like
Interesting.
seeing Blaze as the main tank here, and then Imperius in the solo lane.
Yeah.
But picking your solo lane so early could be very risky because they could throw something that really like beats it. Thrall can be really annoying against Imperius. Even like a Zagara could be really annoying against Imperius. Or Ragnaros could hold his own and then keep the Nazeebo in the game for longer. Ooh, Lucio and
A Lucio and a
Mephisto.
Mephisto, though. So we have a Zebo picked up, which, you know, if shut down quickly, if this game moves too quickly, can almost be just like a non hero. And then Mephisto, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. So I like that pickup. But we see Venus picking up Gul'dan and swing on Kerrigan, which I don't think I've seen yet. So maybe this is something new for them.
Yeah, I mean, they have really high CC and easy damage to get off. Gul'dan and Imperius have very easy damage. Kerrigan is a lot of CC. Blaze Imperius, a lot of CC. Gul'dan possibly if we get a nice Horrify. I'm really liking Cloud Mind's team. We've got an Arthas as a backup, pretty good to fight Imperius, slows down his auto attack. And if you guys don't know, the majority of Imperius's damage comes from him proccing his trait. In order for him to proc his trait, he has to auto attack a target. If his auto attack speed is slowed or if he's blinded, he's not going to be proccing his trait. So that Imperius pick a little early is going to be really difficult to get value off of when he's fighting an Arthas and a Johanna. But again, Gul'dan's all the damage they really need. Blaze possibly with a combustion forces Lucio to use his ult early. Kerrigan can interrupt it. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game. So
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Mephisto's a way for the team to get damage on Gul'dan, who will be in the back line. Kerrigan obviously being oppressive in the front, doing her damage, and Stukov with those silences um, are easily avoided by Lucio, but on that capture point within this map, it can be an issue. But let me switch us over because I don't think we're going to get the loading screen boss for very long. Wait, I may have cursed it. Oh, nope, there it is.
yeah, it'll be kind of a loading screen boss here.
Yeah, it can get very aggressive and take its sweet time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the blue side. Playing on Clouded Minds, we have Tiger on the Imperius, Zednam playing Blaze, Venus on the Flirty Cloud, playing Gul'dan, Star Knight on Stukov and a surfboard, and Swing playing Kerrigan.
And with the punniest name in the game, we have Full Meta Jacket. With Juggerob playing Mephisto, Undead 752 playing Arthas, Barber playing Nazeebo, Runtime Logic on the Johanna, Modus Trollin on Lucio. I believe that is all of them.
I believe so. Unless we have a name for every individual zombie in the wall, which we can figure out at a later time.
So starting off, one of the biggest things that we see is a Nazeebo. If this game hits 20, we all know what happens with Nazeebo. So it's all about him needing to get these stacks early on. Now, if he can stick up with double soaking with his team, it'll be really easy because with a single lane, you can get about 200 stacks before the game's over. With two lanes, I mean, assuming you just were very vigilant with it, you could get up to 400 stacks before level 20. So and at level 4, he could get some double his health and mana from it too. So we could be left with a very scary Nazeebo. But what we need to see out of Clouded Minds here is maybe some Kerrigan action where they try to punish them in rotation. Because I think that's really what they want to be doing here.
Right.
But at the same time, as long as Blaze gets those globes, I mean, he'll be happy at level 10. So
An interesting thing, though, is Nazeebo did go spider build, and bottom lane, we just missed an Arthas kill by Tiger.
that's
So
interesting.
spider build, 4 stacks, here we are.
Yeah. Spiders are tricky because it's an all-in build. You throw all of your damage, I mean, a good like 90% of your damage on a single ability that can miss. So unless you can always follow up a CC, like you have the Arthas who throws a root down and then you throw a spider down, if you can't follow up something like that every time, there's a good chance that you miss 90% of your damage for a decent chunk of time because the cooldown of spiders are 9 seconds and there's no way to reduce that cooldown anymore. You used to be able to throw out your spiders, they would land on the floor and the spiders would jump out and then they would go and reduce the cooldown of spiders. So it was a really easy way to keep that build very efficient. And then it was a little OP, so they nerfed it, and now we're back to current spider build.
Just current spider build. So while going over that, both teams did manage to get their fortification camps, and we see equal experience here. By the way, guess that is not Paradox laughing underwater. Oh, that's death for sure. What's up?
Ooh, looks like Cloud Mines is playing pretty aggressive. They're going straight for a heal camp right now. Some pings coming out, but Arthas is taking his time getting up here, and it is being cleared out really quickly. Lucio and Mephisto are trying to do a camp, which they're like the slowest camp clears. So this heal camp is going to go straight over to Clouded Mines.
Excellent pickup. I always love to prioritize that before the first objective. Both teams also did manage to get their siege camps out too. Red team is answering to that. Blue team is deciding to go for the objective to begin with. But this first one, is very slow moving. There's a lot of time, so we can see them scale this up to probably even 90%, and we still won't know who's going to take it 100%. But let's take a look at top lane, because it looks like Gul'dan is fighting off the red team's siege camp, and we have members of the red team up there who are now finally rotating down to the 2-point A. Chat asking, you would never leave us for Mixer, right?
I don't know what Mixer is.
Good. Alrighty. It's good. Google streaming service. It's Google's streaming service. I think someone left
Google
today.
has a streaming service?
Yes. All right. Enough about that. We're going to have a fight here. 72% to 29. A turret comes down from the red team, and the silence from Stukov comes out, allowing Kerrigan to just wreck the Lucio. And that hula hoop of electricity isn't doing much, as we see Arthas stunned while Weena stays in the back line and just fires off those corruptions nonstop. It was an excellent engagement with, I think, excellent placement. What about you?
No, I mean, the heal camp really turned off all the slow damage that comes from Nazeebo and Mephisto, and their damage is all slow. They don't have any burst. And it is a lot of damage, but all they have to do is get a heal camp and they can win every team fight.
Right.
We really, if Full Meta Jacket's going to do anything here to try to win, I think they're going to have to find some way to either lock down people with a silence, a major stun, and it looks like they won't have that for quite a while.
Right.
So it'll be tricky, or they just need to make sure they're the ones that gets the heal camps. The challenging part about it is that Mephisto doesn't do camps very quickly because he can't lower his cooldowns on camps. And so whenever they try to get one, and Zebo's not the fastest either, so it will be a little tricky for them. We have Arthas double soaking. Looks like Imperius will start double soaking as well. Half a level lead in favor of Clouded Mines.
We were able to get the towers, the wall, and the well down top lane. Preparation for the next objective, and they're just riding this out. And are they going to go in or back up? They are backing up. Back to rotations, back to picking up all the toys. The support camp is available. Again, turret camp is available for red team. And I believe they were able to pick up another fortification camp somewhere in between the objective and now. So taking a look, we see Swing and Star Knight with the turret. And there's another one ready in about a minute. And they're already posturing
for another heal camp. Oh, wait, maybe they're going to take out
posturing for a gank here. Barber, the Nazeebo.
He is sidestepping like crazy.
Yeah, wow, what a zigzag.
This is not a fight that they want to take. This Joanna's walking up, but ultimately I think that Cloud Mines is going to get a free support camp here.
Yeah. You know those Disney Channel, that meme video where it's like, and you're watching Disney and they like draw an invisible Mickey ear or whatever?
Yeah.
I feel like if we saw the pattern that the Nazeebo drew while sidestepping, like it could spell something cryptic because it was interesting.
That was his code.
Sure. Help me is what he was spelling.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, he was spelling help me.
Yeah.
He was spelling pause right now. Let's DDoS the enemies.
DDoS.
It's our only hope.
So yeah, Cloud Mines is just rotating together. Ooh. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good. No, this is again still a half level lead in favor of Clouded Mines. They are just doing what they can. No major talent tiers, but we do have an abduction going in. A little bit of a kidnapping.
Oh no.
He does pop his ult, but he gets interrupted. He's not able to use any of his
Yeah.
heals on himself because of a really solid Horrify.
And
So a
all the
trade coming
while,
out for both
though,
teams.
yeah, red team is up top taking that top fort. There's a pretty hefty wave heading to that keep too, and blue team's able to get this bottom fort. So,
The challenging part about that trade, I don't mean to interrupt you. The challenging part about that trade is for Clouded Minds, they actually lose out a huge advantage for the next objective because they had a fountain and the enemy didn't. And now this next objective, neither team has a fountain, and they didn't really gain anything that the enemy team didn't really get either, you know? So overall, that while I'm not saying this is like bringing anyone back in the game, I think it could have been played out a little bit differently.
they do have the support camp and 2 turrets, though.
Red team does it. I don't think there's one turret. Way. I honestly, if I was full meta jacket right now, I would legitimately go bot lane. Oh, this is actually a lot, but heal camp's gonna be popped up, and it needs to die. It looks like they're going for it.
Wow, that support camp is sustaining them through so much, but Zednam is taken out by Nazeebo's Gargantuan, and Swing is not looking good. Lucio just being aggressive, but that was an interesting ultimate from Mephisto too, using the Durance of Hate, clump them all together, and we have 3 people down from the side of Clouded Minds.
So, I mean, that's the damage they needed, and the fact that they did that through a heal camp is really telling of their team comp right now, especially since Mephisto hits his biggest power spike at 16, and Nazeebo hits his biggest one at 20. So we're not even seeing what they're really going to be doing there. That's right. Pretty strong. But red team just sitting here might be a little risky because they have used all of their ultimates. We still have Horrify available, and it looks like Combustion's going to be up in 20 seconds. I mean, we do have Blessed back up. We'll have Gargantuan back up, but could be...
So maybe this unconventional spider build is like with grouping them together with that Mephisto, locking them down with the Nazeebo wall, they just pinpoint the damage and just take it from there. But we're seeing another engagement already. Stukov Silence comes out, kind of zoning Mephisto out as well as Nazeebo, but Gargantuan's out too, and Tiger is just trying to fend them off, but is taking a lot of damage. Star Knight not able to get there. Combustion comes out and oh my gosh, that Lucio ultimate was epic and was able to save the team. And blue team looks, I don't know. Ooh, I only can make noises right now. Swing's caught in a zombie wall. I can't say anything other than ooh.
It is, yeah, this is gonna get pretty crazy now. I mean, it seems like Full Meta Jacket has their comp where they want it to be. They have what they need to do. So now it's really going to come down to Clouded Minds adjusting how they're fighting. Oh, Venus.
No, the spiders are eating him. Death by spiders. One of Ragnarok, the real Ragnarok's worst fears.
With this objective, they're not going to have too much of an advantage. I think they can honestly just take probably mid and then maybe bot fountain, or they could just take all of bot. And I feel like all of bot might be the safer and better play. It looks like they're going to go for front wall mid first.
Okay. So where do you see with this, Clouded Minds is almost 15. Any power spikes for them where they could maybe answer the power spike that Full Meta Jacket's going to have at 16? Do you feel like they're able to approach these fights and win them with what we've seen, just those level 13 engagements?
Well, I mean, I think it's really going to come down to, again, another heal camp, but at the same time, the power spikes that we're going to see, once Gul'dan gets Echo of Corruption done, or Echo Corruption, as well as we also have the level 16 coming out from Gul'dan will give him a little bit of burst damage. So it's really going to come down to Venus's abilities to finish Echo, get 16, and just melt down the Johanna and the Arthas right off the bat. If they could do that, it's really just the Kerrigan trying to pick a single target, the Imperius trying to pick the same target that Kerrigan's going on, and possibly doing a silence on the same target. If they could all hit the same targets, you need to remember that Lucio's healing is AoE. So if they can force out the sound barrier early, then you have a combustion. And if not, then they get a kill. And so they need to focus on one target, and they need to have Gul'dan just pinpoint on the targets they want to go for.
They were
especially
able
with
to
those heal camps.
Finish this bottom fort here. So now Clouded Mines down one structure, but they did pick up the support camp instead. And
I think this is actually a good trade, seeing as, again, how slow the damage is, how sustained the damage is from Full Meta Jacket. Is that heal camp is the difference. It really, really is. Now we just need to make sure that the Stukov's healing is going to not be wasted during one of these fights. As long as he doesn't get CC'd or locked down, then should be good. This is an odd time to engage. When you have all the items, you really only want to engage on objectives because you don't want to have the enemies walk away when you drop everything.
Or maybe they're just looking for a fight, trying out what works best, hoping there's enough time. That massive shove comes out with Durance not really doing much of anything, and a lot of ultimates were used. 3 on the side of Full Meta Jacket and just 1 on the side of Clouded Mines. So maybe that was their goal.
I believe Clouded Mines also did use a turret, though. I don't know where it went, but last I checked, they had 2 turrets and 1 heal cam. Ooh, that is a really good Horrify, though.
Zoning out the Arthas, and he got shoved into the wall and went down immediately. Swing, though, with that turret camp. Is she going to make it out? She drops the turret. So does the support camp goes out, too. And, yeah, all the toys have been used before this objective, just for half of a fort top.
Honestly, that's what I was worried about, is now this objective is looking really, really favorable for Full Metal Jacket, and ooh, that shove's not going to do anything there, but...
Well, I know that the fortification camp is about to spawn on the side of Clouded Mines as they head down to bot. Maybe they can pick that up, but we see Durance of Hate coming out once more. Tiger was caught in it. This Nazeebo wall has Zednam locked down, and he's probably going to have to E out somewhere if he's able to. And there he goes, shove, pushing the Johanna back. And they make it out in time to rotate down.
So as far as Nazeebo stacks, we are well over the level 20 amount needed. We're at 210 when 175 is needed for his bonus. So as we're approaching level 20s, it's going to get really, really scary after that. But I will say that Imperius is looking at a very strong build at the moment. If he picks up the right talent, I mean, he doesn't have cleave, though. That's a little unfortunate. It will be interesting to see how it plays out. But huge power spikes are going to be coming out from... And Durance is also going to silence, too, most likely, if that's what he's going for. If not, Mimic's just going to double the damage he does. But we'll see. Level 20s, honestly, I mean, if I was Red Team, they just need to hold this for about 50%, and then they need to go and grab something and come back.
Ooh, but instead, Imperius is fighting Arthas, and Zednam gets locked in the zombie wall. The Horrify comes out, and Durance of Hate comes out and is just shredding Kerrigan and Zednam. Star Knight's taking a lot of damage trying to hold that silence down, but Kerrigan goes down, and Nazeebo is going to just fall. Venus is struggling for his life with a whole bunch of undead zombies just hopping all over his body, and that's a 5-man team wipe coming out.
The conveyor belts are already infuriating, but to add in the fact that you're slowed and being surrounded by little skeletons is never fun.
Right. Not even for Gul'dan, who I imagine would enjoy that sort of thing.
I mean, I don't know if he's a masochist. He's just a weirdo that likes to drain things.
Yeah, drain zombies. I don't know. Another offline conversation. We can report the findings. Right. We'll interview him. Something. So,
Left in Water says, it feels like Clouded Mines are messing up by not all using cloud mounts. Yeah, that is
interesting.
Yeah, right now there's only... How many people are on cloud mounts? Only I see Kerrigan.
Yeah, well, that matches her outfit, so that's a given.
Flirty cloud on Venus.
Yeah. I mean, Venus is a flirty guy. You know, he flirts with death in every game we play. And I love it. But here we go, Red Team. Even though it sounded like it said Blue Team has taken control, and the lady said that. Anyway, Red Team's here on this bottom keep already. And this is a really strong protector. I always feel like you can end the game here.
Oh,
realistically.
15 to 20 minute protector can pretty much walk up to a open core and end it. Now, the problem with it is it's not an open core. But they do have level 20s, so it could be very tricky. We do have a kidnapping onto Joanna, but at the same time, Nazebo, I mean, level
Ooh,
20
the fear
Nazebo.
though.
Ooh, that is a dead Joanna.
Definitely, and this gargantuan is just running around slamming his melted candy body down on top of the team. And this keep literally has, okay, it's dead, but it had no health bar. It was like an illusion of one. And they're taking this protector back because they did lose one member. Open that keep up. Where are we going?
So he's going to need some movement speed here. Yeah, there we go. Lucio coming in, giving the movement speed. Everyone gets
Valkymer,
out.
my champion in chat, welcome. All right, a tussle going
3v4.
down at the fortification camp. Yeah, 3v4 now, 4v4 maybe, but Arthas is mounting up, and they just decide to give that over. Give that over to Clouded Minds, who's now making their rounds. Their camp rounds, probably prioritizing support camp as they are heading
I think
out.
it's crazy that Joanna literally went through her full health bar with a trait used, with a Laws of Hope used, and an Indestructible used, and she still died. Like there was
That's rough.
Oh, that was a lot of damage.
All right, what's the call here from Clouded Minds? We see Full Meta Jacket taking the fortification camp from them because theirs was stolen, but they're deciding to take this top fort. Backing up a little bit. Are they going to go for their siege right away and let it push out, or hold off until, Red Team has to answer to it? Or are they looking to gank here?
Honestly, I think they need to clear up everything, catch up on everything, hold this camp out, and pick this camp up only when they're going in. And they just need to take and engage on their terms.
Right.
And this, unfortunately, is not looking like it's going to be on their terms. That's going to be a silence on 2 people. Ooh, this is a great Horrify, though.
Is just feared over here. If he makes it out, he did not. All camps are still in hand here for both teams. That kill is a pretty big one with about a minute left. What are we looking at for this objective to spawn, would you say?
It's, if I remember right on this one, it's every
2 minutes and 30 seconds?
It's 1.5 to 3.5 minutes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Tiger is over in the siege camp. Combustion comes out. Undead gets murdered. Tiger's still alive somehow. And they're
this is wild.
And they're able to take it. Yeah, that Horrify was beastly. Previous one, absolutely. All right, so that's 2 kills, 2 deaths staggered to where we have 10 seconds on Mephisto. Arthas coming up in 40 seconds. The objective is spawning in 30 seconds. And it looks like they're taking this camp. The timers for fortification camps are, 6 seconds for the red side and about 30 seconds for the blue side. So there is an opportunity to get another toy if Clouded Minds wants to go and take the fortification camp from Full Meta Jacket, because they do have to clear top. And that's exactly what they're doing.
And this is exactly what they should be doing. The challenge about this next objective is that if Clouded Minds wins this, this doesn't necessarily mean that they win, but if Full Meta Jacket wins this objective, they win this game.
They win this game, yeah.
So the challenge is really what Clouded Minds should do is the second that the Full Meta Jacket walks in, they should leave and then sneak around and try to go for an ambush, because they need to make sure that they're engaging on their terms. They can't have the enemies land a Durance of Hate that's going to silence everyone. They can't have everyone get whittled down by spiders that are buffed up. And so they need to make sure that they engage on their terms. If they can do that, though, they're in this.
Yeah. We see what the combustion can do to this team, and Mephisto gets speared by Imperius, and combustion does come out, but so does Gargantuan, and blue team, Clouded Minds, is able to capture the objective point and kill one member of the team. Arthas is running for his life, and Kerrigan is just ruthlessly attacking and chasing him, still with a turret in hand. Lucio goes down too, and Johanna's having to back up here. Clouded Minds took this objective. That seems so quick. So quick.
Yeah, And this is the thing that's crazy about this. I actually would recommend. I mean, either way, I guess the Imperius could do this too. They need to destroy the sidewall, and they could end if they can stagger one kill here. And all it takes is a good engage. I feel like it would have been better to swap the Imperius and the Kerrigan, because the Kerrigan can catch someone, they could kill him, but the Imperius isn't quite doing that. But it looks like there's a good chance they still end here.
Yeah, they're shredding that keep. It's gone. They're here on the
Oh,
core.
Spider was missed. There goes all of his DPS.
Oh no! 9 more seconds! I know the overlay hides the core percentage because I refuse to fix things, but it's going down and it's at 40 health. I mean, 40%, 30.
15, 5.
Yeah, it's done.
Gone.
It's GG. Going over to Clouded Minds, game 1 in a best of 3 Division D West for NGS.
That was a solid game. I mean, it really went back and forth either way. I was surprised at how well they did with Nazeebo until they got level 20. Once they hit level 20, it just felt like it went downhill from there. But at the same time, right as they hit level 20, I felt like they always got engaged on. They just kind of waited, and then someone would get kidnapped, and then horrifies and combustions and everything else came out like that. And I feel like everyone scattered so much with combustions when all they had to do is let Lucio press R. Which kind of surprised me a little bit that they like tried to do whatever they could to like stay alive during a combustion. All Lucio had to do is press R and then wait until everything else comes out. But the Horrifies, I mean, everyone got silenced, everyone was dead, and Kerrigan just hopping around their team. So overall, I mean, great job from Clouded Minds, and now it's up to Full Meta Jacket to either pick the map or choose first pick.
Right. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing here, and I didn't even go to the stats page, which means I'm bad. I
still have it available. I can always screenshot and send it over, or I can just talk about it. Yeah, I mean, Weenus did what Gul'dans do: 212,000 siege damage, 85,000 hero damage, 14,000 EXP contributed. Nazeebo did pretty similar: 145,000 siege damage, 93,000 hero damage, and 15,000 EXP contributed. As far as the solo laners, pretty even actually in their stats all the way across the board, except for the fact that Imperius only had 3 deaths and Arthas had 8. But the challenge with Arthas is so many times he'd pop his ult and be immediately horrified, so he died before he could get any of those heals.
Just spam his healing. And the thing is that you called this out. In those engagements, it was important to take down the Arthas and the Fauna. They focused the right targets, and they figured that out pretty quickly after like the second objective, and they just got completely destroyed. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that was definitely good on them. There's some debate in chat. I'm confused. Is it Paradox or not Paradox? Well, let me answer that. I can answer it.
Okay.
He asked me the first time we casted for the Division A Grand Finals to put Paradox because it's shorter.
Yeah. Talk about the builds. I actually I'm a little confused at a lot of the builds that were chosen. I mean, Nazeebo, everyone, there's 3 builds that are usually picked up on Nazeebo. Spider build, again, is usually to follow up a very specific CC. And he never actually went to follow up those CCs, so he couldn't really do anything with that. Toad build was mentioned in chat, which is probably the most common build on Nazeebo. It just throws a whole lot of damage straight forward in 5 directions, and usually gets eaten up by tanks. But the cool part about that is even if it gets eaten up by tanks, it's a lot of damage. Toad build does a stupid amount of damage, so that's the cool part about that. And then there's also what has been dubbed the Horse Pants build, because Horse Pants picked this wild build that had no synergy on any talents, and it's used a little bit in the competitive scene. But yeah, it is a little surprising that he didn't go for Toad build, which is just guaranteed damage, compared to Spider build, which he missed several times, and once you miss spiders, it's over. And it's really difficult build to get value out of because of that.
But with the Durance of Hate and his zombie wall followed up with the Gargantuan, I feel like that was his backup plan, to cluster them together and have some annoyance, if anything. Extra annoyance if the spiders miss.
The challenging part about Spider build in particular is if you land with a cluster of people, you actually lose 40% of your damage, because if you hit an isolated target, you get 2 extra spiders. Which the math's kind of weird on that, actually, because it's technically 66.6% more damage, but
I love
then
it.
if you're going down, it's considered 40% less damage. I don't know. Either way, you lose that damage. And so that's the hard part, is there's so many times he would grab 2 people with his spider wall, or sorry, zombie wall, toss in the spiders, and someone's talking about the pinata mount. That's still my favorite mount in this game.
Same.
Just drops candy all over the place. I love it. Same thing with the arts. It's a little strange. Like he was going for like the auto attack build, which only really requires 2 talents to work, which is level 4 and 7, which he got, and all the rest of his talents he took as auto attack talents, which was just kind of overkill. And same thing, he didn't go Syndragosa, which usually in the solo lane you go Syndragosa so you can engage on your terms. But either way, still kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's
Her
like they
during the
had a
third age.
secondary main tank, like a backup, maybe, knowing he could offlane and backup main tank. I don't know. Backline backup maintain? Maintain main tank? It's a riddle. Solve.
Yeah.
All right, so the suspense is killing probably everyone in chat on where we're heading next, but I can assure you the wait is over. We are heading to Towers of Doom for game 2. And I am excited.
Towers of Doom, yeah, it tends to be a very common one in like NGS and in the competitive scene. It's a lot of people consider it one of the most balanced maps, in the sense of you have the most strategy on this map. And why do you have the most strategy? Oh yeah, swapping sides. Yeah. Why is it the most strategy? Well, the thing about this map is that you can choose to give up any objective in this map and you won't lose any sort of advantage. All you lose is numbers. And those numbers are meaningless until they're all gone. And unlike experience, where if you get in a small experience lead, you can win extra camps, you can win extra objectives, you can win extra structures. On this particular map, you can give up an objective and say, hey, you know what? We don't hit our power spike yet. They hit theirs. Let's give up 8 damage here. But you know what? Let's go for something else. Then you hit your power spike and go, we're at our power spike. Let's dominate them. And if they're not paying attention, we're going to get that experience lead and we're going to start rolling with it. And that's why it's such a cool map, is because unlike Sky Temple, where if you give up an objective, you lose 2 levels and then you're down for the rest of the game. This map's like you literally could give up anything. And there's also multiple strategies. One of the most common ones is control bottom lane. But there's a variety of them that are being used. So I'm excited to see how these teams decide to take this map of Towers of Doom.
Me too. We'll get into it shortly, but I want to talk about one of my favorite strategies, and I don't even know if it's relevant anymore because I feel like it's always bottom lane all the time. And that is when you're able to get bottom, then you get mid, then top. They take, you just rotate getting them nonstop, and it's just like hell for the other team. So I'm curious. I know that on this map, it's easy to want to pick a team fight when you literally just have to wait to engage, like you said, through power spikes. But I think it's going to be exciting. So let's go ahead and click ready.
Yeah, and the cool part too about your strategy that you mentioned is this is actually something that Glogan's team used to do on this map. Is they would draft everything that pushes really, really hard, everything that has a ton of siege value, and then they would ban everything that was left that had any sort of siege value. And so the enemies would be left with like things like Genji that don't have any siege. They'd be left with like all these like small like Hanzos and stuff, and they would draft at the start kind of normally.
Right.
And they just pick up something that was kind of simple, like a Gray main, where it's like, oh, he could fit in a normal comp. And then they'd pick up something like maybe a Sylvanas, and it's like, oh, that also could work in a normal comp. Then out of nowhere, it's literally like Gazlo, Probius, and all these like crazy siege things that just come out of nowhere, and it's just so funny because then every time you're trying to take a team fight, you're losing all of your
Yeah.
structures, and so you normally win like the first couple objectives, but by like level 13, you're just constantly like trying to save your structures.
And
It's
you hate
insane.
that. That's the worst position to be in on this map. So just dealing with the bottom lane is enough. But yeah, just that constant capturing of all of the different ones is my
Oh yeah.
favorite strategy. And if we saw that, I would be so delighted. But it looks like Venus's team said they are like teenage girls and have to tinkle together, which I
Well,
think
there
is
you go.
hilarious. Can confirm that is true. It
That is
happens.
that is funny.
Adult women as well. It's always a conversation though. If women go to the bathroom together, it's like, "Hey, Becky, you want to come in to the bathroom with me?" It's like, "Should we leave? Should we? Like, this is not fun, right? I'm having a good time, are you? Or I'm having a great time." It's always a conversation. Trust me.
All
Anyone out
right, looks
there?
like both teams
I'm sorry, I was giving
hyping
life
the R.
advice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I I was ready to get into Towers of Doom over here,
I was
but
ready to tell everyone the secret of women, and this is now on hold for the draft of Towers of Doom.
what are you guys more excited about? Learning about the secret of women? I'm not even gonna finish that because I know the answer already. Chat, don't. That is going to be the answer. I already know it.
I mean, the chat is just going off about some elaborate stories on how your name came to be, which is cool. Thanks. We'll read that novel later. And there's
Yeah.
some quick bans here. Diablo, Jaina, again. First two, Raynor getting banned. All right. Who was banned in this slot last time? I might ban some. I mean, Star Knight has a deep hero pool of healers, and I feel like heals are very relevant in this division. And Star Knight has been my MVP many a time. I wouldn't be surprised to see a healer ban, but I could be wrong.
If this is a KT ban, it's literally the same. It's like neither team wants. Oh, there's the Blaze
Oh,
ban.
yeah, that's oppressive. I mean, is this the best map for the Blaze?
I mean, it still works. Again, when I pick Blaze main tank, it's less about the map that I'm playing it on. It's more about I would never pick it into a Garrosh or a Diablo. So instead of banning Blaze, I would leave him open and just play Garrosh. And then whenever he charges in, you flip him, and then he has no escape. Um,
Word.
but there's
Quick,
Stukov again.
yeah, in his colorful admiral outfit. So quick shout out to Hung Fu and Rarbs for the follow. And laughing underwater saying, I think everyone has already seen the Mel Gibson classic What Women Want. Thank you very much at Slexia.
They're, they're making a gender bender version of that movie.
Oh my god, What Men Want. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to see it. It looks pretty
I'll
funny.
see it. I
We've
can't
got
wait.
Joanna and Greymane. So, like I mentioned before, Greymane's a solid pick on this map. He's one of the strongest siege damage heroes if left alone in the game. Because in Worgen form, pressing W, you have something like 500 DPS at like level 4.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really good. Joanna gives a double soak. We have Tiger on Imperius again. He's not worried about those blinds. Kael'thas being picked up.
Hmm.
Pretty
Kael'thas
nothing too
by
crazy.
Swing.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of like picking the solo laners this early, just because usually solo lane has such a wide roster pool to answer any problems or concerns that might be brought up later. So to have like an Imperius being picked so early is like you're kind of bottlenecking your team. Like all that's left is the tank and one assassin. So what if you suddenly need something that does camps really quickly and it's like, oh well, we can't throw Jaina because we'll have double mage, and you can't, there's no tank that does it either. So it's kind of hard to answer that with the roles that they have left. So I usually like leaving solo lane as like a later pick. Not to mention that right now Imperius doesn't really answer any global heroes. So they could throw on a Dahaka. They could throw on even an ETC at this point. Oh, ETC, they banned ETC, but yeah, it's just a little tricky. But either way,
Yeah. Well, if you play something well and you feel confident, maybe if it isn't broke, don't fix it. If you know how your hero and you're able to escape, maybe it's not that big of a concern for them. But we do see that Dahaka picked up instead over here by Full Meta Jacket. Quick question. Are you uncomfortable right now?
I'm moving my monitor and mic and everything right now. Give me a second, and I'm also gonna turn on my lights. I'll be right back.
Okay. So Orphea in tight quarters with Crushing Jaws or whatever the other one is. Whatever the circle one is. Be rough. And then the Anubarak and Cassia getting picked up. So some blinds. Played by Venus. Interesting. I don't think I've seen Venus on Cassia. You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All
We all good. Alrighty.
Durinart.
I don't know about the
follow.
Durnarts.
Thank you for the follow, but he said
This looks
yeah. Yeah.
Is that like physically, or is it because of like a conversation that was going on?
Was it
It's
about
like physically,
the
I
female
was kind of like
conversation?
sitting weird, and I noticed it when he mentioned that. I was like, I am sitting kind of weird, and it's because I left my seat down. But either way, it should be fixed now. Let me know if it's cut off. I'll move things around.
I mean, your head's a little cut off, but whatever.
It's all good. I can always.
It's whatever. Just maybe
Boom.
just. Oh my god.
Is that fixed or no?
It's
Is that worse?
perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Is it?
All right, yeah,
All
we're
right.
heading to the loading screen, boss, though. So let's talk about these drafts. Orphea, Dahaka, Brightwing picked up while you were getting comfy. Cassia and Anubarak are picked up. And I'm just curious about which ultimate Orphea is going to go, how that's going to play out, and how these two globals are going to help the red team here or hinder them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, double global tends not to be something you want to run, mainly because you're only ever going to need one person sitting in like an opposite lane. But at the same time, I don't really consider Brightwing a global that you're going to be using for what you normally use a global for, because you don't want your healer away from the fight for that long. So Brightwing's global is more of, I'm going to stick with the 4-man the entire time, and the solo laner needs my help, big heal, polymorph, Q, some spell armor, I'm out, I'm going back to the 4-man. And that's all that Brightwing's global is for. While Dahaka's global is a little bit different, it's more for like, we're all fighting over an objective and he's getting a ton of soak for us. Oh, there's a team fight, he's jumping in. Anyways, let's get into introductions.
All right. Introductions, okay. So this time I'll introduce Full Meta Jacket. How about that? Never mind, I can't pronounce their names. Hold on. Oh, that's going to be rough for them. Okay, Barber on the Greymane. Modus Trollin, I'm guessing, on the Brightwing. Runtime Logic on Johanna. Jugger Rob on the Orphea. And playing Dahaka is Undead 752. That is
And what happens if you don't have enough iodine in a diet? You get Clouded Minds. Venus is on Cassia. Star Knight is on Stukov. Tiger is on that Imperious. Swing on Kael'thas. And Zednem on Anubarak.
getting fancy with these scientific team introductions. Love it. Yes, okay. Fun fact. Iodine impacts how cloudy your mind is or is not. Sapper Camp already being picked up by the red team, but Clouded Minds is like, no, we kind of want that, so back up, because we're going to take it. And Weena steps on the point. Nubarak, for some reason, burrowed out of it. Came back around. And they do manage to get it.
Yeah, I mean, Clouded Minds just invading. They're just taking out and this is a very difficult camp to try to deny. Is when something gets stolen from you, it's so hard to stop it because it has very little area to actually move. It just goes right around, destroys that bottom tower.
Right.
It looks like Stukov's out of position
here.
though.
Yeah, Star Knight loves to be mid. Now, I was going to say when you were talking about Brightwing, I've seen Star Knight play this map on Brightwing in the free agent combine when I was casting for those looking for teams. And he stayed mid while his three-man was bought and would rotate down appropriately. But, oh my god, Orphea was so low. She made it out. Her Q allowed her to back up, and that saved her life. You'll love to see it.
It is seriously. I was a little worried because Orphea. I mean, she missed her abilities all there before, and I was like, "Oh man, like,
Sorry.
does she not play a good Orphea?" And then when people are finally attacking her, see what Orphea this player needs. I mean, Juggerob over there on Orphea, he just needs stress. See, when he gets stressed out, he plays better. So
Yeah,
when they were ahead, he was struggling, but now that they're behind, he's like, "Yeah, I got this."
yeah.
And these
That's
camps
a
are
good
still
point.
Cloud Mines are really handling these camps.
Handling them. Two rotating down onto Clouded Mines, the Orphea taking the safe way, so the Johanna coming in. I did pull talents up for those that are interested. Brightwing has yet to select her second talent. But you're better at describing what you see with those talents.
We'll get into the talents in just a second. I'm just curious how this is playing out. Dahaka is going to be able to use his global and jump down to the bottom lane after he grabs this, but Barber's taking a lot of damage, spreading some bombs onto Brightwing. Brightwing's going to jump back to the team and spread bombs again. And then we aren't having Dahaka dig in. He's actually just double soaking, and we have Imperius who came all the way down. So it
Yeah.
looks like Red Team's just giving up this point.
Which
As far
is
as the
okay.
talents go, we have the old Imperius build. Battle Hunger's actually been sort of nerfed in a way. It's not as powerful as some of the other talents because they made that talent baseline and then they just made it to where it heals 50% more if you still go that talent. As far as Netherwind, it's great for following up a Nubrok. Going a little bit of a hybrid build there. And then we have Cassia in what's looking like a standard Q build. Nothing too, I would say nothing too crazy. A few talents that I wouldn't pick personally, but doesn't seem like we're having any like bold builds that are going to change the characters too much. But either way, pretty interesting.
Okay, then.
Um,
Red team wanting their sapper camp this time.
yeah.
I'm sorry, speaking of what?
No, I was just saying, speaking of talents, looks like because Dahaka gave up that objective, they were able to get level 7s before. So they do have a little bit of a talent lead. Now, they're not going to do anything with that talent lead, but, they actually might go for an invade now that I see a few people top.
All right, so Red team is taking the side of Clouded Mines sapper camp. And, Dahaka using his trait to go down for one of the first objectives may not have been the best choice for them. So maybe it was calculated to get that extra talent and not have to walk slowly all the way back up if you're dual soaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, this is the one map that you choose to like give up objectives, and it is kind of one of those where maybe Red Team felt their level 7 was so good that they should give it up. But again, Dahak is staying top right now. They're just stalling out the objective. Oh, Dahak is digging.
Oh my god, though,
Going
but
on
Cassia
Kael'thas.
is on that Orphea in the backline, polymorphed. Venus is not going to be fruitful in his attempts to take down this child of the Nexus. I don't know.
The little coffin child just killed two
coffin child
people.
of the Nexus.
But it looks like Swing's still going to be able to grab bottom lane. Despite the fact that they did lose that fight, they're just like, we'll sneak this.
Yeah.
But it looks
I'll
like
die
he will
for
end up
it.
dying for it.
Whatever. Oh, alive for it? Oh, that D by Star Knight. Popping that heal off. Saved her life. What a time to be alive.
It
to
is.
see that happen. Literally be alive because of it. What a great support. Okay, Dahaka's alone mid. Imperius goes in on him. Swing is there as backup, but I don't know. He uses his ground tuna, as Venus and I call it, and it's all good. But Red Team is 4 here on their bot fort. And I think that Clouded Mines should probably be a part of this with their solo laner, handling what their solo laner does.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You never really want to lose your bottom fort on this map. I mean, it's just one of those that's always going to be tricky. Because once you lose it, it's really hard to get it back unless you have really long range pokers that can just sit there and poke at the fort and take it down very slowly. Otherwise, it's really difficult to get it back. So with the Kael'thas, you're not going to be able to get it back anytime soon. So if Full Meta Jacket can get this bottom lane, they will be able to stay in this game. And they have a full level lead too.
Yeah, they
right
have
now, so.
tens. They're able to get this camp. 2 people had to be allocated from Clouded Mines to soak in mid and top. The Haka is back top, so it's 4v3 here, bot. And there's just no intention of interaction. But Venus is rotating and is
Cassia.
getting caught out by, oh no, by Johanna and Orphea. Oh, and all these ultimates
she's
come
getting
out.
a ton of healing.
Venus was still alive, but did not make it in the end. And this camp is fighting on the side of Clouded Mines. So they're just going to pick it up really quick, it seems.
And Imperius is actually sneaking the right side's thing, and he's not going to be punished for it. But if Red Team was smart right now, they would just grab. Oh,
Ooh.
they're going to try to fight it back. I don't think this is the right call.
Greymane's not going to make it through. He's not going to make it through that.
I really think that they should just give this objective and take bot lane. They were so close to getting it, and now they're bouncing balls right now. The little orphan child's out of mana.
Oh yeah.
And
Dehaka was silenced in a choke point, like the tightest choke point on the map.
Yikes.
There's no mana here. Flames just igniting people's life.
I mean, they did still get bot lane, but they all died for it.
There's still sappers here to kill this wave and possibly make it in as well.
That's a little interesting.
Interesting. Here we go. Let's see.
So blue team decides to go for a boss.
Sapper.
I'm not ever a big fan to go for boss this early into the game because I think the priority should be getting an advantage on structure, so it's easier to win more objectives. It's easier to deal damage with camps, and I think the boss is it's like, would you rather have 4 damage or would you rather have full control over the map and the potential of 6 damage? You know, and that's why I would have focused on bot first, but it looks like they're gonna keep bot or take back bot anyways.
Yeah,
because
they're doing that, but
Full Meta
Red Team,
Jacket's just going top.
Yeah, they're deciding that top is their target here, and we just have Tiger protecting, but there are sappers with this push, and they do take down the fort quite a bit. While blue team is just
this is your strategy right here.
I love it.
The kidnapping was missed, so now all we have is a little bit of a engage, but that's quite a big hit to that fort. I mean, if Greymane just stayed up top, or even if Dehaka just stayed up top, he could sneak this while everyone goes down bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean,
Dehaka
is kind of staggered right here. He's burrowing.
Oh, why is he digging? He's burrowing early.
Down digging
what
to the
is
bot.
happening
Maybe
here?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I do know that there is the objective spawning. We have both teams against each other. Level 13 is available for red team. Blue team does not have that advantage. Silence is coming out to zone Dehaka away. Orphea using her ability to throw some spikes up on the back line, but okay. You tell us what's happening here.
Dehaka is probably going to end up getting killed here, but there is some bombs spreading. It looks like a Nubrok's going to be taken down. We've got Greymane in the back line taking out one person, getting Venus low, jumping out, getting that armor. Tiger's going to be taken out. That is a 5-man team wipe, 5-0, and this gives them enough time to take out the bottom fort before they capture, and they can take out the bottom fort, they could capture, they could grab the camp, and likely they won't be able to escort the camp in because Kael'thas can blow up the minion waves first, but this is a lot of pressure applied, and they have 100%. The ability to take top back whenever they want, so they might actually go mid here. No, they're not. They're going to grab the camp, take it safe. I was going to say they could go mid here, cap mid, cap top, triple cap, and then come back down bot, recap bot.
Yeah, that is the dream. That is what I was talking about. Why do I get wishes granted to me on a random Thursday? Can we see this happen? Was I too excited? My bad?
No, I just read chat for a second. He's like, you could have a free boat. A boat? Was I talking about boats?
No, it's random there. Your eyes must... Yeah, it's a random place right now. So, Duranart saying the entire team is already there. Boss seemed like the best call.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. I was just saying...
boss is never a priority here.
It's fine, though. Yes, they were already there. I mean, teach their own on the calls. I find that a lot of times it's not necessarily that there's, there's not always a right and a wrong call. Like both of those could have been correct calls, going for the boss or going for bottom. I just felt like the boss, they could have gotten their bot for it and the enemy's bot for it in the time that it took them to get boss and their bot for it, and that would have given them more control over the map. But it's irrelevant. I mean, both were correct calls as long as their team followed it. I think that's something that a lot of people get mistaken so often in this game, is that people will argue over two different calls and then they'll message me and they'll be like, which one was right? And I said, you're both right if your whole team actually followed, but you had two people who made this call and three people who made this call split up, and then you guys lost boss and the objective, and then it's like they were both correct calls. You just needed to have all 5 people there. I think that was one of those situations. It's like both of those gave you an advantage. It's just one of them gave you a more level lead, and one of them gave you a more numbers lead.
Oh, Tiger
is getting dropped.
Yeah, Dehaka was able to channel bottom, and Brightwing was able to get that channel off here on the right-hand side, too. Blue team was able to capture theirs, and that was a very quick alter phase with a casualty for Clouded Minds.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be crazy. So speaking of iodine, you know, one of the funniest things about iodine is that when scientists realized the benefit of iodine, they started putting iodine into salt, hence why the basic table salt, hence why we have iodized salts.
Yeah.
And it's funny because these like major researchers put in all this time and effort into getting people to like have iodine in their diets. And what ended up happening is that in this last 5 or 6 years, we've had all these like fad diets, and all these fad diets have these like fancy Himalayan salts and sea salts and stuff that don't have iodine, or at least have like such a small amount of iodine that it's irrelevant. So I always think it's funny that like fad diets are actually sometimes really bad for you, because there's just things that people aren't thinking about. But anyways, again, another boss trade for a bottom.
Bottom with 6 sappers in tow that were able to take that down immediately. I almost would have taken the bot and then let the sappers. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you would have. It would have been better to have Greymane take the fort while the rest of the team was taking the sapper cams. Ooh, it looks like they're gonna go for mid here. This is very risky because they're gonna get flanked right from behind them.
Oh my god, the first to get flanked, is Johanna, but she's just
Johanna's gonna get cocooned. Then we have Greymane sitting on the point. He's seeing if he can just take out the fort. Oh, Dehaka got.
Oh my god, they weren't able to get it yet. Ground Tune is used. He's moving underground. A sneaky Dehaka, but he is impaled, set aflame, and destroyed. And that is just Dehaka going down with, let's check the health on that. 132 health on that mid fort.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a big set of damage right there. And I don't know why they're choosing to take back top. I mean, maybe they're worried that they're going to get hit by the sappers, I guess, but they should be focusing on getting more advantage. I mean, I guess all they have to do is throw one cocktail at the mid fort, and that thing's dealt with. And so if they can just push top with a camp, they can get that, but they're also going to trade bottom for it. And it's like, is this worth it? I mean, they are getting up to level 20s.
I don't know. They have 4 health on their core.
I know. And if they lose bottom, it's a potential of 6 damage through sapper cams. So it's like,
25 seconds on the sapper cam.
Maybe just leave Greymane. Maybe just leave Greymane up top, and then have everyone else rotate and try to defend bot. I don't know. I mean,
blue team could end here by just rotating and capturing.
They could. I mean, they're going to be level 20s. They could just literally walk down, grab mid, and then walk down and grab bot. But everyone's waiting in a sapper camp right now.
They want those extra tower shots without having to channel. Interesting.
I honestly think full meta jacket needs to take a fight here. They need to go for one.
Yeah, they have 20s. Let's do it. 20s. Let's see it. Let's see it.
They did not
they're
go
defending.
Or the upgrade to emeralds, or yikes, they didn't go blunderbuss. Okay, well, they're gonna have a little bit of a rough time, but they still have the 20s. They win this objective. I think honestly, Clouded Minds just drops it. You know, they just don't even They don't need this objective. They don't want to take the fight down 20s. Cloud Mines, that's exactly what they're doing. They're just like, nope, we're not going to deal with it.
Yeah, we want our structures. The thing is that red team can easily take this bottom fort too. Just right now.
And it looks like they're going to take bot and mid at the same time. Dehaka's going into mid lane, is going to start pushing this while they're taking bot. This could be really, really good for them.
Are we seeing a clockwise rotation from each team to take the structures on the opposite side? Are we going to see a flip here? Is the map going to turn purple somehow? Help me. So I love the salt facts in chat, by the way. This is the saltiest stream on Twitch, so it's relevant. Thank you for all of that. I will read it later.
So I have actually another salt fact that's kind of interesting. So, I mean, not necessarily salt, but sodium. So what a lot of people don't realize is that in the brain, in order for you to have a message go from one area of your brain to the next, you have to have a neurotransmission, right? And every transmission is triggered because of a little surrounding tube that's around your neurons, the pathways anyways. And those tubes are powered by a mixture of sodium and potassium. And the amount of sodium and potassium actually kind of cancels each other out. So if you have too much sodium, it starts making it to where it's harder to have these messages. You have too much potassium, makes it, again, harder to have these messages. And so if you have enough of both, and if you have both of them, it actually is electrolytes. So now you know that having sodium and potassium creates electrolytes, which is how you process images. So red team only needs to get... Sorry, blue team, Cloud Mines, only needs to get one here. This is where the fight's gonna happen. And huge fight happening. Rewind comes out.
Oh my god, Orpheus ultimate!
Brightwing's already dead. Anubarak's gonna die on the other side. Weenus is dead. Oh, Weenus is alive.
He's alive?
But that is Stukov
oh my god,
down.
Greymane.
Everyone, both teams are just going down. Tiger's down. And red team's gonna be able to get both of these objectives.
And boss. And win.
And possibly boss. That won't win though. They'll be left with 2 possible damage because it'll be 4-4 and 4. And
my bad.
12. No worries.
I counted 4 objectives because that's what my mind does. But Duranart saying, I come here for salt facts, and I like that idea. I shall research this and provide them. Actually, you can just do it.
I think I'm about out of again, all the rest of them would be like either nutrition based. I don't have like actual salt facts. I've never looked up just like salt. They're all like nutrition based. Or just like either like a nutrition class that I've taken or a neuropsychology class that I've taken. Like either way.
Perfect. Swing with a quarter health, picking up the sappers. Like, okay, this is ours. My team's dead. I'm going to do this because I don't want the other team to have it. Brondo has electrolyte.
Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not. I don't know what that means.
Oh, no. Okay,
what is it?
So the movie is Idiocracy, and the movie's actually...
I have.
Okay. The movie's actually based off of a real theory that came out from a scientist. It was a genealogist, or I believe a evolutionary genealogist, that brought up the idea of that movie. Whoa, Swing got really low there. Tiger's getting blown up.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Well, Johanna used her D-shield. Johanna used her D-shield when Tiger went in for his Impale, and it did not impact that whatsoever, and Ball Lightning literally did nothing there. This is rough. Darn it.
This is absolutely insane. I mean, this looks like we're going to game number 3 because either team needs to win this objective, but there's 2 people down for 40 seconds. Objective spawns in 7 seconds. This is
Tiger
crazy.
Is calling GG. No, Tiger, don't give up. You have Weenus, Star Knight, and Swing
Weenus
here.
has to suicide to try to save this, and Weenus is doing it. Ends up suiciding, stalls it out, but it's not going to be enough. It looks like Swing and Starlight are going to get taken out as well. Isolation comes out, and they finish it off, and that is game number 2. Absolutely insane game. I mean, this is why everyone loves this map. I mean, everyone in the competitive scene loves this map and people who watch the competitive scene, because it can just go back and forth forever. I know a lot of people who don't like this map, but this is, this is exactly it. I love that. This was an awesome awesome game. Seriously.
It was. It was definitely a lot of fun. Let me update the score here. It's now 1-1. We'll be heading to that game 3. And I do have the stats on the screen this time.
Yeah. And which means because Cloud Mine lost that one, they get to either pick the map or they get first pick. And last time, the Full Meta Jacket, the red team, decided that they were going to pick the map, and they picked that map, and they played that map really well. What I find is when you get to the teams that play a lot together tend to more pick the maps because they have strategies for different maps. So they practice a map all the time, they get a strategy for it, and they go for that. And in this case, you can tell that red team does play a lot together, because when they got the opportunity to either pick the map or get first pick, they picked the map, because they were like, to us, it's more important to use the strategies that we know than just get a first pick on any map. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And taking a quick look at the stats, we had 6 to 18 kills here. Those double globals maybe were very impactful, but also Orphea had 0 deaths and did the most hero damage, able to just float with her coffin on her back in the back line and just wreck stuff. So good for them. That was exciting. I'm happy we're going to a game 3. Every match that I have casted, or every set I've casted for Cloud of Mines, it's been a 2-0. So this got to be stressful for them.
This is good. I like it. I always get disappointed when I cast a game and I set up everything and I get everything perfect, and then it's just a 2-0, and I'm like, I spent an hour setting everything up for like 40 minutes of games, it's just like,
right.
That always bothers me. So I always love going to game 3, and I know the teams might not love it. I mean, unless you're like the one that lost game 1 or 2, then it's nice to go to game 3, but
yeah.
But most of the time, the teams get all nervous. If you won the first game, you get nervous to go to game 3, because then it's like, oh no, is it going to be like a reverse sweep? Which we saw earlier. I mean, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but we did see a reverse sweep earlier in EU. For Heroes Hype anyways. Different group, but NGS has also recommended it here and there. Yeah, so... Oh, one person mentioned that OBS is hard. He's like, I'm not joking, spent 2 full afternoons trying to resize everything for my 4K monitor. Yeah, mine's kind of weird because I have a 1440 monitor that I have to then shrink down to 1080. So I have to, if I'm given things from an organization, I have to then increase them to 1440 and then shrink my stream down to 1080, and it's always irrelevant. So it's usually easier to just change my monitor settings to make it appear as it's a 1080.
I'm like just going cross-eyed listening.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
But yeah, no, Idiocracy, the movie, it's a really stupid movie, but it is actually based off of a scientific theory about how people who like don't really know about like the most intelligent people tend to have the fewest children, because they're like worried that like, can they raise them, can they commit enough time into it, because they're usually busy with like 100 other projects that they're doing, so they tend to have less children. And Idiocracy is based off of a real theory from a genealogist, or not a genealogist, evolutionary biologist. And
I need to watch it again, because I swear I've seen it. That's the type of stuff that fascinates me.
It's a really
I will not watch
movie.
An Avengers movie.
It's a really stupid movie. I mean, I watch all of those too, but I like those movies. I also like documentaries, but I do like movies you don't need to think about, that are just like feel good, big superheroes punching each other. Anywho, looks like we're gonna be on Alterac.
Yeah, Alterac Pass. That's where we're headed. Looks like they are capital ready when you are. So let's go ahead and type a capital R. Laughing Underwater, Slexia, not Paradox. Who does your hair? It's like morning TV anchor quality in here. I did my own hair in about 5 minutes. To be honest.
Same. I
actually heard him stand up to do his hair and come back. And didn't you shave as well? It took 30 seconds.
I did, because last time that I casted with you, I didn't have a camera on. So I was like, oh, I'm guessing that I won't have a camera on. And
you did have a camera on. You were in a sweatshirt, remember?
That was the first time I casted with you. I casted with you once before.
No,
I thought I did. No. Either way, I didn't. I wasn't expecting to have my camera on. So I didn't do my hair, but no, I did my hair. I cut my own hair. I do my own hair, and then yeah, and then I shaved before as well. But yeah, mine actually it's like puffy right now because I didn't put anything in it, so it dries like puffy. Um, as you guys can see, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, it was like down and clean, and now it's like slowly puffing up and going crazy. But
I
hey,
think it looks fabulous. I'm
that's
jealous
what
of
it does.
the volume is great. I'm over here struggling with at least 17 products in my hair to make it look like I have more than 5 strands. Just kidding. I said we're ready. Where are we going? I know we're going to Alterac Pass, but like, when are we getting into this? Because I don't want to
I
keep
don't know.
talking
Do I
about
need to say
hair.
something again? Hold on, casters. All right, they're just like chatting right now.
Playing Summon Mage in Hearthstone while watching the stream feels good. I have not played Hearthstone in so long.
Same. I had like one whole day that like it was kind of a build up where like there was a lot of things that were annoying me about Hearthstone, but then I just had one whole day where I was like, I hate this game so much, and I literally stopped playing it for like 2 years.
Same, same. I was like, if I see one more freaking like what was it, Tavern Brawler spawn or something, I don't know, it was something along those lines. All
Oh
right,
yeah, I know what you're. Get in here. Those
yeah,
ones. Yeah.
the warrior deck or
Yeah, where
whatever
they
from
would do
that. No,
damage to each other and
absolute,
then they would
yeah,
bring out multiple of them. Yeah.
yeah. I can't do it. I'm done with it. But Slexia, how do we get? How did we get to Alterac Pass? I'll tell you. We trekked through the hills of Azeroth and
Hmm.
by way of the Nexus and landed in a very different looking version of something that we've seen in the video game World of Warcraft. Anyway, enough about that. Blaze is the first ban here. And my overlay is messed up again. Rip. Alright. Blaze is the first ban. Diablo is the second. There has been no Diablo play because he's been banned literally every single time. He must be a
Yeah.
terrifying tank for
I
Leather
know. I
Jacket to play.
mean, seriously, they must have someone on their team that plays like the best Diablo or something because he's being banned every single time. Blaze is now
Yeah.
being banned every single time. They might even leave KT open this time because they played against it and they're like, hey, we can deal with that. I would say maybe get rid of that. I don't know.
I'll tell
Joanna's been
you.
played every time.
I'm telling you why they're banning this because Clouded Minds has won on this map by a landslide in all of the games they've played this season. They have a certain comp and it includes Blaze and Stukov. That's why we're seeing these bans immediately. I know it. I know they haven't banned Stukov yet. They have banned Blaze, but they've clearly scouted them. Clouded
Yeah.
Minds has their strategy. It's, I don't know if I could say it. I don't know. It's a 30-second delay. So it is a Jaina strategy. So red team picks that
There's
Jaina
the
up.
Jaina. Mm-hmm.
A Jaina and won't spoil it because the kicker hasn't been banned yet. Something that Venus
Well, this is the
plays.
other team. This is the other team.
Right,
So
right,
Jaina's on the other side.
right. But Venus could still play his hero he likes on this map.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, target bans for sure. Raynor was banned every single time as well, I believe. Brightwing is
There's
the
a
alternate
Brightwing.
to Stukov for Star Knight Imperius, is the
Mhm.
offlaner of the year for
Again,
for
picking him
Tiger.
up first every time.
It is,
Going the old
yeah.
build
Well,
every time. I mean, hey, if it's working, it's working.
this is actually a retro server for HOTS.
Right. Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. There's
Yeah.
Joanna again. I figured the Joanna
Joanna.
might have been a ban, only because been playing well every time.
Yeah.
Dahaka has that global. This is a good map for a global. The only challenge about Dahaka being the global is that there's not a lot of bushes around the objectives. So like in the competitive scene, they'll run Dahaka on like every big map, and then when they get to Alterac Pass, they run ETC as their global, just because it kind of works like Dahaka, except for you can jump anywhere. You don't need to jump in a bush. The problem is he doesn't get it until level 10, so that's the challenge about it. But otherwise, yeah.
Well, that's maybe something this player is comfortable on, and that's just how it is. You have these elaborate explanations, and I'm just like, let me speculate and say something else. Let me just
You know,
say
it's
something.
it's funny seeing my camera. Like now that I actually can pay attention to my camera, it's always funny because on my stream, everyone's like, "Why do you turn everything orange so you look tan?" And now you can see, like, I didn't actually change any of these settings. It's just the fact that my walls are orange, which makes it seem like I turned the whole thing orange, when in reality, I didn't. It's just the fact
Yeah.
that the walls are orange, and that's literally it. It makes the whole thing look like I turned it orange. But I'm
Yeah.
glad the chat's not like freaking out about that, because that happens on my stream every once in a while.
That's weird. That's
We
an
saw the
interesting
Nubrak in the
fight
trail
to
toss.
pick there. That's an interesting fight. Like, oh, you're so like maybe you like to get spray tans.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the problem with that? I
Like, what if you
mean,
want that for yourself? No judgment.
vitamin D, man. You get
Hello.
vitamin D for just going
Spray
out in the
tans
sun.
though.
So I
Yeah,
also
but
live in Vegas. I mean, I am
yeah, it's
pale. Don't get
so
me
hot
wrong, I'm
here.
pale, but like I live in Vegas. I can get a tan if I just like go walking outside.
Yeah. Ooh, Greymane Malfurion in unison with an interesting skin.
I
I
like
didn't
this. I
use
mean,
that
you
one.
can give healing over time to Greymane as he dives in the backline, and give mana and
Yeah.
cooldown reduction to Jaina. So it'll be really good. Um, not a lot of like easy ways to break things out of Cocoon, but the Cocoons weren't too crazy last time, so I don't think they're too worried about that. For last pick here, Weenus, who is he gonna pick?
I'm guessing he's picking Phoenix.
There it is, the
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Didn't want to say it. What is up? Uh, weird name. What is
Shikiyoko 5.
what is up, Shikioku? Shikio Shikigaus? I'm thinking of like Dead Mouse, there's whatever. All right, over analytical with the names. And I think there's something on my screen that makes it look like an accent over the O, and that is why I was like, what is this?
Oh,
Uh
yeah.
I mean, plenty of people need spray tans,
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing like an event that might be on like very harsh office light, like before, if you guys have ever done like conventions and you've been like a major speaker at a convention, the light that's always is on you is like a very pale light. So they recommend getting like a spray tan ahead of time. I've had to do speeches in front of stuff like that, so that's what happens. But yeah, it's like they do recommend it, and some places will even like pay for it, and they'll pay for like makeup to be done.
That's what I need. Let's do that. I need that.
Anywho,
Yeah,
let's
I'm gonna
get into
maybe
this game.
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Blue Side this time and not give any facts about salt or iodine, but rather facts about life and women. Just kidding. Tiger is on Imperious for Clouded Minds. Venus is on the Phoenix. Star Knight playing Brightwing like a witchy little beastly fairy dragon woman. Zednam on Anubarak and Swing on Kelthos again. This is Clouded Minds Game 3, Division D West for NGS.
Full Meta Jacket, while I wanted to go through and give the reason of why things are called a Full Metal Jacket, is probably too long to explain on this stream. So, on to this. Juggerab is playing Jaina. We've got Undead 752 on Dahaka, Runtime Logic on Joanna, Barber on Greymane, and Modus Trollin on Malfurion.
Nice. Now, Jaina was on a cloud mount. Is she respect mounting Clouded Minds? Respect mounting?
Yes.
Is that the term?
Respect mounting? I don't know if that's a
it's a respect
I don't know
mount.
if that's I don't know if that's terminology that is safe for a family-friendly stream.
This is my stream. Anything I say here
yes,
is fact. Is fact.
But yeah, I think she's a covert operative, so it's actually 6v4 right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's gonna tell them what's up, where everyone is, and what camps are going for, and what.
Yes, all the hacks. Currently DDoSing Clouded Minds. All right, Star Knight and Swing are already on their siege camp, which is nice. Perfect timing. It's taking a while. Very low on health.
It really is. So this camp spawns every minute and a half, which means getting it before 1 minute and a half means that you'll have it back up right as the objective spawns. Because the first portion of the objective tends to take a little while because you have to kill all the minions first, it's a great time to grab another camp afterwards and use it as a distraction. So really great timing. by Clouded Minds to pick up that camp very early. It's taking a little bit longer for the other team. Blizzards are going out. Everyone's moving things around a lot, and it is taking just a little bit longer for Full Meta Jacket to take out that camp. But it is going to be a pretty good position for the camp because it'll be able to attack the camp that's behind the wall and value off.
Let's take a look at Venus and Barber top. Phoenix versus Greymane. He's just rotating his laser around himself. His shield is down, so he's backing up. He's phasing out. And in bottom lane, we have Imperius and Dahaka just doing what they do, but Johanna is rotating down to take a look, going back up on her slippery little slug. I don't know what to say. Cyber slug.
Yeah, what are the Reavers, I think?
It looks like a slug. A cyber slug.
Yeah, they're like mechanical slugs it's kind of funny because in StarCraft they're actually the slowest unit, or they're supposed to be the slowest unit in the game. So it's funny that you can be a StarCraft character and get on a unit that is the slowest unit and it speeds you up. But I guess it's the same logic of Cho'Gall gets sped up when they lift up a mount, so
100%. I mean, that gives them the adrenaline.
That root on Venus.
No, Venus! Protect yourself. But the thing is, like, these heroes have got to be exhausted from battle, so even the slowest unit is probably faster than they can walk after fighting nonstop.
It's very true. And it is very cold around here, too, so they're probably, like, getting chilled, you know?
Yeah, frostbite is a concern. Here on Alterac Pass. They have used it on the other maps, too. So anyway, let's get into this fight. Looks like we're fighting over the red team's prison. That root looks terrifying.
Ooh.
Why did that root look so big? I'm gonna sound so ignorant. Did he
went with the level
it?
4 talent, Deep Roots, which increases the size by 25% while
That's
also
a large circle.
While also making it persist on the ground for 40% longer.
Wow.
It is a talent that is not picked up too much anymore. But it's a lot of people in the competitive scene are just going with like the healing reduction, and but it is a very good talent. Oh, that is
Jaina just got wrecked.
She got speared.
She got speared and wrecked.
Yep.
All right, so Jaina's down for 12 seconds. Looks like blue team is channeling this. Tiger was able to capture it, and now's the time to zone them out. Root's coming out so that Johanna can get away. She did have her D shield. Dahaka is down in this bush below here. Venus just shooting his laser off, being a little whatever he is. I start to get giddy on a third game.
Game 3.
I lose my mind. Welcome, everyone. And blue team's able to capture that. Both teams have level 7. They're pretty equal here. Red team is able to pick up their siege camp, though, before the objective comes out, or before these... What are they called? Guardians? What are they?
For the objective?
Yeah, what is it called? What are they called?
They're supposed to be horsemen, but in this case they are ram riders.
Oh, because it's Alliance.
Yes. And they're wolf riders for the Horde. But in Warcraft 3, they were horsemen, and the horsemen on a lot of the like extra games made from Blizzard in the Warcraft 3 mode had auras of some sort, and they would carry banners and stuff. So that's just kind of it's a nod off to extra games that were made in Warcraft 3.
So top is where blue team decided to send 3 members. It was able to get the 2 towers down as well as the wall. Bottom lane, Phoenix and Dahaka are battling it out a bit. It looks like he's able to get the same value down there. And mid lane is also... So every single fort is missing their towers and front wall.
Yeah.
The team is picking up their siege camp here. And it's just... I mean, they're not trying to play too risky. You know? Neither team. This is like game 3.
Yeah, seriously. Both teams are not doing anything crazy. I mean, It's a little bit ahead on experience, even though they lost an objective and they're down 1 kill and they're down some structures. They're a little ahead on experience just because they do have that global that can always just sit in a lane, getting value. The camps, I mean, Cloud Mine's been getting those camps really, really well. Full Metal Jacket's a little bit behind on that. Full Meta Jacket is a little bit behind on that. But otherwise, I mean, both teams are rather even. They're not going for anything crazy.
I mean, they were behind because they picked it up right before the objective phase, right? And then it just spawned again. So, like, they're getting it on cooldown, too. They just changed their cooldown.
Well, I mean, they started the initial one a little slower. But both blue team has still been a little ahead the entire. It's not a big deal either way.
Oh, Duranards, not having Paradox face in the stream may affect awareness when searching hero streams. I don't know what that means. Are you saying like people won't click this?
I mean, we've got like the Heroes Hype finals going on right now, so I wasn't really expecting anything crazy to show up.
I'm not here for the views. I'm here for the teams.
Yeah, we're just having some fun. That's all.
It's chill. All right, so here we go. Objective 2. Blue team cleared up mid. Red team is all over the place, and blue team's coming in. They're the aggressors. Dahaka's here in this bush, deciding that's not a good idea. So maybe they're not the aggressors. They're just like, maybe we'll clear this. Why don't you guys come to us? Where did we go? We're hiding here. Are we on the boss? Why don't you come find out? That's what it feels like.
That's really what's happening.
Are we here?
Oh, we're going to go check. Oh, well, face check.
Boom.
Oh, missed.
Oh, missed, but the root comes out. Oh my gosh, and Ring just drops two members immediately. Venus and Anubarak just die. Tiger is not going to make it out of here, and Swing and Star Knight are just like, nope, that didn't work. Back out,
back out. It's actually a good time to just get boss. I mean, they're probably going to go for the objective, and it looks like they're heading over to the objective, but this actually would have been a decent time to just go for boss. They have it, and that is, they'll be able to grab this objective. Something that, that I'll sometimes do on this map is, instead of killing these minions, it'll only ever spawn so many, and in order to just keep them controlled, you can always just have them over on the right side of the objective and not kill them, so you never need to worry about them spawning in a place you don't want them to spawn in. But at the same time, it looks like they're more concerned with just staying alive, and I don't blame them.
Right. All right, so blue team has their camp back. There's only 15 seconds left.
Cloud Mines has a good camp being pushed in. They also were able to take back the objective. Now it's just a matter of getting a good engage, and it looks like a lot of damage going out on Zaka. Stun locked until he was dead. He did not have the opportunity.
Oh, the Kakuna is so dangerous, and he's out of it. Sorry, I was reading chat. Laughing Underwater, while they clear this, says, you're both the real hype heroes, and everyone is so proud of you, not Paradox and Slexia. Thank you for being proud of me.
And see, what people don't realize is that Heroes Hype dropped me, so I'm actually building up streams at the same time that they're doing their tournaments just to, like, show them up. But no, I'm just kidding. Actually, that was...
Did they drop you?
No, I did the Europe one.
Oh, I'm like, that's rude. America. You literally were doing it, I remember.
Yeah, no, this is North America. I did Europe.
All right, well, Imperius is taking this Dahaka downtown. Ring comes out and misses quite a few, but that silence by Malfurion just will not allow KT to do anything. And Star Knight cannot keep up with this damage coming out from Greymane. And you're right, that Q, that hot... that Malfurion has on the Greymane with the constant moonfires is just keeping him sustained. Like, he is just swirled by a green blanket, if you will, this entire game practically.
Oh yeah, it's and that's the great part about Malfurion's kind of tricky because like they've balanced him pretty well now, so he got nerfed a lot. So his healing is usually not the greatest, but he's got the potential of healing people that are really spread out during fights. And that's what happens with Greymane all the time, is Greymane gets really far away from the healer during a lot of these fights. So Malfurion works really well. Plus, innervates for Jaina. Always good. Right here, I kind of disagree with Red Team just hanging out. I think all of them could have benefited from just backing, getting some health and mana, and then pushing with the actual objective, rather than like Greymane pushing alone right here, which he's going to get punished for it.
Oh no. No more swirling green blanket of love and light for him. Yikes, he is dead, and Venus is going to mount up. rotate up mid for this team fight. Both have 13. Ring comes out already. Roots 3 of the members of Clouded Minds, and was Johanna in the cocoon the whole time? She just
Yes.
popped out. I was like, did Anubrak just give birth to a Johanna? What's happening?
She was just hanging back.
Science. We have gone too far. All right, well, that was a cool fight, but it also allowed the red team's push to get a little bit of work done on this mid keep wall and those towers. Bottom fort is gone, top fort is gone, and Venus and Star Knight are here with the Stahaka, but little do they know there is a large rotation coming in, and this little fairy dragon isn't going to make it. Purification salvo comes out, though, and they're just backing up, right? Venus doesn't have shield, doesn't have anything. Zednam.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Caught out. Now's the time to play it safely. I mean, red team has 16. They're obviously rotating down here to boss. Kel'Thas is
They'll
mid.
be able to
Paris
get a
is
boss.
top. Yeah.
And I think in this case, for red team, because they do have the 16 lead, they could push with this boss and take a keep, or they could go for a double boss, and which is usually the safer play. You go for boss, you let the boss push while you get a second boss, just kind of getting all the extra advantages on the map. But because they do have the 16 lead, they could push with this, and that's what it looks like they might be doing.
Or they're maybe trying to invade the siege camp.
They could be going for this as well.
Huh.
That's a little odd. Siege Camp won't do too much, but I mean, taking a resource away from the enemy, I guess, is good. And they had the time to do it, so why not?
I mean, Clouded Minds doesn't have 16. It's giving them the opportunity to get even closer, though. This boss is just making its way here to keep. They are clearing that pretty quickly. It's not going to get them 16. And the objective is going to be spawning, and they are pushing here. So they're looking to weaken these structures so that the core or the boss is weak completely. Oh my god, Ring of Frost instantly kills KT, and Anubrak goes down just shortly after. Purification salvo is used like in defense, but really did nothing at all. Whoa. This is not a time to fight. This is a...
No, they need to hit 16s. So what Clouded Minds really needs to do is they need to hit 16s, and they should be able to wait out at least a good chunk of this objective here. Dahaka will grab 16s up top. Actually, sorry, Dahaka's on the other team. He's just going to continue that experience lead. But blue team's really got to get 16s. Once they get 16s, I mean, they'll get Ignite for Kael'thas. That'll be really good. They'll get some more damage from Imperius as well. They need to take this fight. Honestly, this is the last fight that they have. If they lose this objective, they're going to lose everything here.
This is that they have to approach it from a different angle. Ring of Frost is down, so let's
I think they need to immediately cocoon.
Oh my god!
They're just getting blown up.
Is done, and this is like a tank killer comp right here. There's just Dahaka landing that drag, finishing the Brightwing off. Cocoon is still available because Anubrak went down so quickly. It's looking grim.
Yeah. The tough part about this is, like, if they don't use a Cocoon and then immediately engage, they're going to struggle. And what happened was Imperius walked in, used his Q, and then right as Anubrak got up there, the Malfurion just silenced all of them. They took him out, and it was done. And it's tough because they needed to start off with a Cocoon, preferably on the Malfurion, or even just the Johanna. But I mean, they have two tanky people, so it'd be better to just Cocoon off the Malfurion, jump in, and see if they can kill him when the healer's dead. But it's going to be really tough here.
Yeah.
Still, level 20s aren't picked up, so there is still a chance, but it's going to need to be really good. Maybe a kidnapping right here could help out.
All right, so Cocoon.
Ooh, that's actually a good damage onto.
Oh my god,
Dahaka.
Ring of Frost comes out, and it allows Dahaka to get out. He is just fully healed up. He is surrounded by that blanket of heals.
Kidnapping is missed.
Level 20s are just now available for full meta jacket. Cold Snap is picked up. And Indestructible.
Bullet pierces. That's interesting.
This is all right. This is red team allowing Clouded Minds to have another chance, I feel.
It's going to be really tough because the way that this map works for the core is the less keeps you have,
Right.
the less armor it has. Well, when there's only one keep down, you actually never need to defend it. A boss can't even end on it, and it will gain its life back after that because it is a kind of a hero. Ooh, we've got maybe an ambush.
They're
Oh, wait.
fighting down 20 here because this boss, as red team would rotate to, will end
Yikes.
their lives, and Brightwing and Imperius just die immediately. This is just essentially a suicide. But Ektar cheering, "Let's go, Clouded Minds."
Yep, that is it's a well-timed cheer. Well, this is going to be game. There is no doubt about that. There are a camp pushing mid lane, a boss pushing top lane, and the all three keeps are down, meaning it has no armor. Less health than a regular core. Regular core has 45,000 health, and this has 26,000, and it won't be regenerating. It is going to go down, unfortunately. The end of game 3. Solid series, though.
100%. Ring of Frost going out. Imperius is completely silenced, but we will not see the rest of what could be done because the Alliance has lost here. Clouded Minds with 1 point, full meta jacket with 2, and that is the W going over to full meta jacket.
Yeah, that is I mean, looking at these numbers, like the scariest thing, honestly, was that Greymane. Every single time that either tank walked up, or even just anyone walked up, bullet, Q, E, Q, they were dead every single time.
Right.
You combine bullet with Jaina's damage, and it was a kill every single time. It was the epitome of blowing up any target that got hit by any sort of CC. Ring goes out, someone's dead. Dahaka pulls someone, someone's dead. Malfurion lands a root, someone's dead. I mean, even to the point that Joanna was just like, all right, let's pull someone in, someone's dead. And it's crazy. So, if we were to give out, or I don't know, are we doing interviews? Do you do interviews? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. If you were to give out an MVP this game, who would you give it to?
Let me go back here. Malfurion.
Malfurion. Okay. Yeah, decent amount of healing. Had some really good roots. Was able to keep up Greymane, innervate
His
Jaina.
silences were devastating.
Those silences were very, very good. I might actually agree. While I do think the Greymane's job, he did it really, really well, and he was blowing people up. I think that Malfurion made his job and Jaina's job so much easier. So yeah, I'll give it to Malfurion as well.
Wow.
So let's see if we can get that interview. Do I need to pop in a room or something?
I'm working on that.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'll give more facts about Salt. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have any more facts about Salt.
How about how toxic I am? Just kidding. Let's not go there. I'd give it to Jaina because those rings were pretty good, is what Laughing Underwater is saying. Okay.
Yeah, the rings were really good. I mean, the challenging part about rings is like a lot of it's hard to land rings against like really mobile comps. Imperius has a charge, Nubrak has mobility and an unstoppable. Kael'thas is going to be kind of in and out of the fight. Phoenix is going to be in and out of the fight. Brightwing's going to be jumping around. So it's tricky. And those were good rings. They did hit a lot of people. I think against their team comp, I might have gone Water Elemental and just thrown it on like Imperius, but they didn't even need to. Like the second a ring was landed, it was just like boom, targets were dead.
Nubrak died immediately.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh well, Cocoon's still off cooldown or on available because Nubrak is dead.
Yeah.
So
he literally would just be silenced and die like before he could do anything.
That's rough time. So the first loss of this season 7 for Clouded Minds. All right, your camera's going to be messed up because we're going to actually go into a lobby. Let's go into lobby 3.
Hello?
Hey, one sec. I'm trying to
Hello.
figure
We're
out.
good. Well, I'm good. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can
no,
figure out the
yeah, we can
camera.
start.
Anyways, so Juggerob, first thing I
Yep.
have to ask, why'd you
Yes.
go with the cloud right there? Was that a jab at Clouded Minds when you went the cloud mount on Jaina that last game? Or did you
Uh,
just not think about it at all?
I didn't think about it at all. I don't actually play Jaina all that often, so I didn't have the mount synergy that we try to aim for every game with the Reaver. As soon as
Yeah.
as soon
Interesting.
as we spawned in, I was like, ah, mount synergy.
Yeah. That was good. That we thought you were a spy for the enemy team, so
Yeah, I thought you
Yeah.
were either a spy or you were floating on a cloud of frost somehow. But
Well,
thank you
that's
for
what I like to
clarifying.
pretend it is. Yeah, no problem.
anywho, how does it feel to win?
I mean, it was what a series for real. That second
Oh
game,
yeah.
especially, insane. So it feels really good. The team's pretty excited, pretty happy. But definitely hats off to Clouded Mind. Like,
Yeah.
all 3 games just felt like everything was teetering all the time, which hopefully was exciting for the people watching,
Oh,
as
I was
Yeah, for
as
having
it was for
sure.
us.
a blast. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun for us anyways. Were there any particular like maps or strategies you guys went into? Anything that kind of threw you off? Like what was the biggest contention that game, or what was the biggest like thing that went your way? Either or, whichever part of that question you want to take.
Well, they obviously Cloud of Minds obviously did their homework when they did map bans. So we didn't. We just have a couple other maps that we like to play, and some of them worked in our favor, and some of them didn't. Obviously, the first game. But I did think we played well in the first game. We got a couple of nonsense deaths, like just randomly out of nothing really. Well, not out of nothing. They took advantage of it, but like we just weren't positioned well, and I think that really turned it for them. Um, but yeah, no, we didn't really. Our maps were banned out, so we did what we could on the other ones.
Mm-hmm. And were you guys worried, like going into game 3, you see Alterac pass, and you're looking at this and going, like, were you worried going into Alterac pass? I mean, were you prepared for it? Did you have a team comp ready? It looks like you guys just ran the same team comp from the last
It
game.
looked like you target
Yeah,
banned their comp for Alterac Pass because they played it every single set this season.
yeah. I do a lot of scouting on the other teams, so we like had an idea and of what they wanted to play, and we sort of changed the bans based on what was giving us hard. Like first off, we banned out a bunch of mages to try to mage choke them, but that didn't like really work for us all that much. So then we kind of tailored our bans to what they were doing well against us with. So, but going into Alterac, I mean, we didn't have like a team comp in mind. We, like you said, we just ran basically what we had the second game. We figured why not, or why fix it if it's not broken type thing. So, and we just played it.
I think you guys played really well. Any other questions, Lexia?
No, I don't. Oh, actually, I have one. So, were you guys tied going into this?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
us and Clouded Minds at the top of the division.
So now you're at the
Mm.
top.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
knocked them off their. Well, you were sitting in the same throne, so like you're more
Yeah.
comfortable now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a
Well,
little bit
congrats
more
on
room at the
that.
top now, but
Oh,
thank you. Yeah.
ooh, that's a little
I
spicy.
it wasn't it wasn't
Oh
meant to be a
my,
diss,
I'm just
but
kidding. I'm just
if you
no.
want to put it
I
on a
mean,
bulletin board, yeah,
wow, a little
that's
bit
fine.
more room at the top. It was close though. You said it yourself, so I know you're
Oh
not
yeah,
trying to be
definitely.
too rude.
Oh
But
no, I
I'm
I
just
wasn't
gonna.
trying to be rude at all.
I know you were just no. You guys won. Grats. Like that's what happens when you're tied and you win. Someone you're tied with, you're on top. So
Yeah.
thank you. I
I mean,
don't have any.
I'm sure we're gonna have to face them again at some point. in the playoffs. Well, maybe I mean, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But it was a heck of a game, and they played really well. So
Yeah. Quick question from chat. What is
Yeah.
your favorite kind of salt?
Oh no.
what's that? What's that like red salt? That's
The Himalayan salt.
Himalayan. There you go. I always
Yeah.
feel like I'm a big spender when I
Flaked or just a rock that you shave yourself? How do you
rock.
procure?
Definitely like with the rocks, and then you just grind it yourself.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
An
fancy.
artisan, a salt
Yes,
artisan
exactly.
here. Wow.
Well,
And-
any shout outs?
Well, we're not
yeah.
talking about salt. Sorry. Shout
No,
outs.
we're
No,
done
that's
with
it.
the salt conversation.
We can go into salt. I mean,
if
don't-
you'd like, we could.
but-
Okay, sidebar. We'll go into salt. We've got 3 minutes to talk about salt. No, I'm just kidding. Have at it. We'll just talk about salt for the rest of this. It's cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna give a shout out because I heard Slexa say it, or somebody started to say it, so I'm just gonna do it now. Is that cool?
Yeah,
That's
shout
what.
outs are
Yeah.
cool.
All right. Shout out to my teammates, obviously, and then also our subs, Zrice. Oh my God, Rough Day Team and Isra. And also thank you guys for casting and taking the time.
100% our pleasure. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
for putting
definitely.
on such an amazing series here.
Yeah. And thank you, Clouded Minds, for like an awesome game, and everybody for watching.
Yeah, everyone watching has been great. A lot of cheering for Salt in the chat. But you know what? Congrats to you. When is your guys' next match?
Ooh, we're trying to set something up for Monday, but I don't think our next game is until like the following Sunday. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, anyone who's now interested, keep a lookout for any casts for Full Meta Jacket, as they are now #1 in Division D West. Laughing underwater, saying, "Wow, he didn't shout out his parents." Shaking my head, very, very toxic.
Yeah, Go. My parents are terrible. No, I'm just
My
kidding.
bad. Oh,
No.
I am the most. I just make people feel like utter crap in interviews. Like, let me just read this really quick. Yeah, your parents. Oh my God. I think this is.
No, shout out to my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my stepdad, all of my siblings, my wife, my daughter, for allowing me to play this majestic game at all hours of the night for like the last 3 hours uninterrupted. So
Wow. Shout out to them, and thank you so much for your time. And I hope you have a fabulous evening.
thank you so much, guys. Take care.
You
All
too.
right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Well, that will conclude this Division D West matchup. The two top teams battling it out. We're almost in mid-season, I believe, to try and determine what possibly we might see in the semifinals or even grand finals. I mean, if they keep up this pace, we will never know until we watch the rest of the games. But hey, thank you so much, Paradox, for joining me. I had a lot of fun tonight, and why don't you take the time to shout people out or let the people know who you are? Maybe they don't know who you are, and just take some time. Let's tell people about you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me on the cast, and this was seriously a great series. Thanks to everyone who had participated in this one. Both teams played so well, went back and forth. Yeah, I'm not Paradox. If you don't know who I am, I'm mostly known for the YouTube channel that I run. I believe at the moment I am the largest Heroes of the Storm YouTuber for educational content. And I also stream usually once or twice a week, either coaching, playing some games, or casting of some sorts. So feel free to check out any of that if you want to follow me anywhere, because I was not that smart and made my handle the same on all the things. My handle's different everywhere, which is why I usually recommend simply Google Not Paradox, and you can follow me on whatever social media fits you.
I
But
went
yeah,
and typed it in chat too. The quote,
there
just
you go.
Google him.
Just Google him. But yeah, that's it. And yeah, thank you again for letting me co-cast.
No, the pleasure is all mine. And just in case you didn't know, because you're here, I'm Dyslexia. Pretty salty, pretty mediocre at the game, but I definitely love it. And you can catch me here, or you can see me on Twitter about once a quarter posting something. So feel free to follow me at Sparkles. And I hope everyone has a fabulous evening. I believe I will be on an upcoming episode of Nexus Edge, so keep on the lookout. Spoiler alert for that. And yeah, we're done here. Ta-ta, toodaloo.